Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. This is True Divine 4-4. Thank you for being here, listening, supporting by sharing, liking, and of course, my favorite, commenting. I appreciate you all. So I need to turn off that. 1 second. Okay. So I'm putting out this video because a while ago, while Trump was in power, I'd said about the borders and that, you know, we're hemmed in by the borders in the USA, and that we're hemmed in by believing and trusting in the authorities, the system of authorities that are taking command directly from a darkness that is commanding them, that is directing them. And that the borders were a place that literally a balance of the whole world rests with the USA right now. We're all going through this attack worldwide, but the stages as it goes, the stages as the plan rolls out, America, unfortunately, is a pivotal point, a pivotal battleground that has been long drip fed and long infiltrated, quite as long as the UK, but a pretty long time. And we're seeing the results of that now. And so I spoke about the border because that was coming up in my visions greatly. And I mentioned when is the time that authority for the rights and freedoms that you fight for, that you want, and for the lifestyle of your children, the safety of your children, the safety of your own, the safety of you, at what point do people start to en masse go and protect the border? That was what was coming up a long time ago. It kept coming up and coming up, not so long ago, but a bit. I'll have to find the video. But that hasn't happened yet. And I just feel there's still time to protect the border. And I know what I'm saying sounds so radical because it's, you know, making a physical show that you are not entrusting of the services, the systems that are interacting at the border right now. And that feels so out there. It does. But if I was directing shit, I'd be directing that right now, because there is a multi-layered plan, agenda that the border itself is fulfilling. And these tents have been really bothering me. And the fact that only, you know, very few have seen them. We're seeing pictures of them. We're seeing videos of them, quick videos, but we're not seeing, and apparently people aren't allowed to see. And that's been really bothering me, just hooking up with the visions I was having before Trump left power regarding the border. And so I want to just, you know, pull some cards on that, look at that, see where we're at with that. And I know what I've already gotten with that. And one aspect is, so let's get into first, you know, give me some cards regarding the children. Now, I think there are multi-facets and layers also to the children. I don't think anybody needs to be psychic to know that they are being used in great numbers. Great amounts of profit are being made by gangs to, yes, baby. Can I post the video? Yes, I can post the video. Little man. He had a bit of an asthma attack last night, so he's a bit, he's okay, he's stable, his inhalers worked, thank goodness. I don't like it at all. I have asthma attacks, but I don't like it at all when he has asthma attacks. It gets it quite severely when they do kick off. It comes on quick and fast and quite severe. So last night was good in that the inhalers worked real quick. So yeah, multifaceted in that there's a lot of money being made, but one facet that I cannot get away from that keeps coming through is there are a lot of children there unaccounted for, not able to speak English, and for a great part not even Spanish. There are a lot of there's a lot of evidence that needs to be hidden, and some of that is physical evidence. This is a great way to disappear some evidence of the physical bodily form, to not raise questions. So I just want to look at the children for now. Okay. So I'm just going to flow with it. So under the guise of the border of the crisis of the children, other wheels are being turned in the background, and it really is that pivotal point I was talking about regarding how much of their plan they succeed in and how much hopefully they don't. But it will take that stepping outside of the box of the system, and that is a huge thing to say, but we have got nothing but major arcanas. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck, with the Strength card coming up after that in the first part of the reading, the Emperor card then coming up, and the Moon card then coming up. So getting into all of this, 1 second. I feel a cough coming on myself. I think they've sprayed something because yesterday we were in the garden fine, and then both of us got a bit wheezy, and obviously Theo got a bit worse as the night went on. So sorry if I cough in between this, I'll try and mute it in time. But yeah, I took my inhalers too. So we both reacted to something, and we can't just react to some pollens, but we both reacted to something, and it was quick. So I don't know if they've been spraying something. So yeah, this is where they are turning the wheel, cranking the wheel, and it really is a huge, that border, that line. I feel like it's also built on something, somewhat of an energy barrier or energy line. There's a lot of energy coming up from the ground, like Hadrian's Wall over here. There's a lot of, that you can feel the line of energy. And so I feel that that has been a very pre-planned pivotal point anyway. And so they're cranking the wheel, and that really does, if they get what they want at that border, it has an effect on us all ultimately. So, you know, I've got no political affiliations, but you know, at the end of the day, walls have always worked to protect. And I think walls have always worked also to keep people in. And I think that is another huge aspect of and also give us a level of trust that the wall's getting built, it's there, the services are doing the right thing. So it's been pre-planned for a long time, and this is a point in which we really go forward in one direction or the other, and it is in that fight for the border and for the control of the border. I said before, the border had huge links to China, huge links to the kind of adults that have loved to wear a jumper with the P letter on. It's a conjunction point. It is a pivotal point. And people en masse need to be witnessing it. People en masse, maybe for the gravity that I feel, maybe would stand there and take over, literally. And I know that would be so frightening, and I know that sounds so odd, because it would be making a stand and taking a chance as to how many officers in the layers of systems there would click more about what is going on and be so fed up of what they've been put through thus far, and either join the people, or whether that would be a way to make them show their hand as to what the system has decided that wall is to do now. So looking at the strength card, it is this show of strength, and it is difficult because a lot of it is known, but it's insinuated. Even me, I'm doing a reading, and so it's hard sometimes to act on intuition and send that lion out, the divine masculine out, to do the action. And that's the real skill and wisdom that we all need to have and gain in continuously, is to be able to have such trust in our intuition, not because it's just there and it's one of our gifts as people, but because we've worked at it, because we've challenged ourselves with it, because we've remembered lessons, and all of that builds up to a really strong intuition. But nevertheless, even the strongest intuitive people find it very hard to act just on intuition, when we've been so conditioned to, well, where's the facts? Where's the science? Where's the evidence? Intuition, being one of our greatest strengths, I feel, has been, automatically in the mind's eye put on the back burner, given less dominion over the decisions and the places we go. And when, that's key, when we make the decision to send out the lion, or when we make the decision to let the lions sleeping lions, and allow the intuition to know when to just leave things. That is difficult. And it's very difficult, even in your individual life, too, what I'm talking about now, to make those decisions. Say that you've fallen in love, and you get warning signs and you don't act on them. Or somebody has stolen from you, but you've got ties up in business and things like that, and your friends. It's hard to just act on intuition without the evidence, science, charts, which are all bullshit anyway. It wouldn't be if science was done properly and used properly as a spiritual and physical gift, alchemy, but they are, and that's how we've been conditioned. So it does take this show of strength to really step outside of the box, because we've been so conditioned also to affiliate, to support, and to be proud of the people within these systems, but actually in the subconscious it's more just the system and all of the spell work that system has put out to create emotional vines amongst the people. So it does take a huge show of strength to act on intuition. I still say, even if it is just to witness, people should line that wall to make a show of power, to say, we're going to watch what you're doing. The world is going to watch. Everybody here is going to be videoing. Hundreds are going to be videoing. What are you going to do? That's what I feel like. If I was, in my imaginary world, directing things, pushing the ships across the map. The Emperor card coming up next. So this is really a land grab, an authority that is of such a dark agenda for many people around the world, but right now for Americans themselves, and even for the people that they are allowing in, because I don't feel many of them are actually of good nature. I don't. I feel, when I was looking into this visually, I feel that a lot of the parents and families who are of decent nature have been as switched on as many as of us and realized it was a trick. So I feel like it's a lot of people that need to disappear, and I feel it's a lot of propaganda, and I feel there are a lot of people, and I think that's been confirmed now, of other nationalities that have no reason to be there at this time, coming in. And this is to help stamp this authority, this darkness, this plan, this strategy within. It's like sending physical virus, physical particles, and dispersing them in very strategic places. I've already broken a lot of those very strategic places. And I feel a few of these people have been programmed. I feel they've had them for weeks, and they've been absolutely months before this even all happened, and they've had them programmed. They're like triggered bomb. They're like, you know, sending out that virus particle through the system within the body. And so there is a lot within the body of the land sleeping right now. So it's a balancing act between when the people actually show the force of that lion, acting on intuition, sending that lion force on intuition, and actually the same kind of very careful balance of this darkness, this authority, planning and strategically as to when to trigger their lions, trigger their sleeping lions. There is so much deceit, and there is so much propaganda with this moon card playing out regarding what we're seeing. Even those kids in the tents. I keep hearing the question, has anybody, you know, just a person, gotten any more footage of those tents? Has anybody, just a person, not of the system, flying by, got an image of those tents? Because that keeps coming up. And I know I might get shut down, people saying the tents are there, we've seen them. Has it been on anything other than first captured by a colleague of the system, whether that be mainstream media or whether that be officers? Because I don't think they have. And I think the same images, they can make it look like they have because everybody is sharing immediately. But I don't think they have. I just feel like the image of those tents wasn't even taken at the time it was supposedly taken. And I know that sounds out there, and I know that I've confirmed to myself that children are disappearing, evidence is disappearing, money is being made. Such cruelty. But at the same time, the propaganda machine is running rampant. And my mind, when I'm looking at the moon card, keeps going back to that where there was the caravan troop or something like that, where there was literally caravans of people entering into the US. And that was very well proved and documented that many of them were getting paid along the way to do so. And yes, there would be some mixed in there in need, maybe. But the ones that were predominantly on the pictures, looking at them, they were very well dressed. And they weren't bruised up or scuffed up enough to have walked in flip-flops for as long as they were saying they were walking as to when they said that picture was taken. Look at Soros regarding that. So the propaganda, the images that we are seeing And believe you me, I feel what's going on there is far worse than those images, if you can imagine that, of those tents, etc., etc. Or not belonging to what's happening here, the plan, the made. And I'd love to know if anybody, like, of the norms has captured such images, because I don't think they have. How are the officers, soldiers, I know what I mean. So the people there working at the wall, how are they feeling? How are they faring? Where are they sitting predominantly? So where are they sitting predominantly, please? Where are they sitting predominantly, please? Okay, the judgment. They're in a real difficult position. There's a split because a lot of them are being called by an authority that they've been conditioned to see as an authority and have pride in serving, whatever aspects of the system they're in. And at the same time, right now in this judgment card, there's a split where a lot of them are having to contemplate being rooted in who they actually are, i.e. their family, their DNA line, their split between following the requests and taking action at the behest of the controllers, i.e. the system that they work for, being very proud and connected to that emotionally and physically. And also starting to question a lot and be rooted to who they actually are, where they came from, who cared for them, who brought them up. So it's a real difficult position, and there's a definite split in the troops where there are some unquestionably answering the call. 6 of Cups to go with the Judgment card. So a lot of them are remembering who they are. A lot of them have far deeper, thankfully, emotional connections to their family, to their roots, who they are, to their friends, to their community. But for the ones that are decent, the ones that are good, it is a terrible, terrible situation. Such a terrible split. And all of a sudden, years of inner work hitting them, of ego, of not being, not feeling that you have, once you have a label, i.e. the police officer, in the family, people are proud of you, people praise you, not recognizing that that is not what defines you. It would feel the same way if you didn't have that uniform on. The disconnection of the emotional connections that are deliberately made through training within these systems, and also the reliance, being institutionalized, having the reliance of their authority telling them what to do, not having to think outside of the box too much. But a lot of them are remembering their mother, a lot of them are remembering their roots with this Queen of Pentacles. The Judgment card being split, the 6 of Cups being emotional connections that run deeper to their family, through their emotions. And then the Lovers card comes out, another major arcana. This is full of major arcanas. Number 6, Lovers card of the need to make that decision. And it's a very, very tough decision. It feels like ripping a limb off, and also not being confident in their timing, as the people aren't confident of the timing of what to do and when. What's being too much right now. It's so crazy how these beings, how this shadow has gotten away with so much right in the face of people. And still there is a level, there is an essence of energy that I can feel of people that are questioning their motives, that are questioning, is it this dark? Is it this bad? Will we just recover? Is this really a time, a reckoning, a crossroads? They've done that so well. And that is difficult. I mean, that balance. To be able to counteract the amount of truth, the amount of transparency, to be able to counteract the weight of that so much by just being so in your face. It's so obvious to those who can see, but to those who can't, still questioning, they really have got our back, though. They wouldn't want America to fail. And they have, they do, they want that. Their America is not an America, it is a part of a whole thing that they want. Their idea of America is that it's done its duty thus far, now it's time for change, not in a good way. So 8 of Cups, clarifying the Judgment card. This speaks of that deep, deep, deep tearing emotionally, such disappointment in so many of them, in their government, in their leaders, but at the same time being emotionally connected to the role, to the uniform. And they're asking the same question as a lot of people are in the collective. Is it now that I tear away? Is it now that I jump? Or is this going to be okay? Wow, it's painful for them. But a few more of them, I should say, are going to start leaving and are going to join the people. Not enough, not as much as I would like to see, but quite a few. 5 of Swords. With the 9 of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck, so discernment is out the window. This emotional connection with this 8 of Cups is so deep to the system, to the role, to the uniform. And the walking away advice within the energy of this 8 of Cups isn't reaching as many as we would like. And those that it is reaching, it's breaking their heart. It's breaking their heart. They're terrified of taking the leap, taking the step to go back to their roots, to do that protecting there rather than where they are now. The 2 of Cups with the 6 of Cups, this says to me that there are those few that are remembering who they are, have got that balance of divinity within, the divine feminine, divine masculine. And some of them, love really is that deciding point, with the Lovers card coming up there after that, in that they do love, and they love hard, and they love their partners, they love their children. And that is for them a strength to be able to know which side of the aisle to be on. The number 6 major arcana comes up with the 5 of Swords. So this does cause conflict. And we play a part in this as the people of actually, we've given them the space to build these systems, to build these authority systems and have them run the way they want them rather than the way that it serves the people. We as a people, and this is why they're deliberately sparking off all of this hate between officers and people. And of course, they've done so well. There is real hate there. There's real divide between officers and people. But there's not as much divide as they are putting out. There's not. There are still a lot of people who have officers as friends, family, colleagues, and get on with them because they're good people. They're just within. We've all been fooled one way or the other more than once with this system and been a part of it. So it's not to cast judgment, and that's where the people need to make that space there to think strategically. That's where the people need to make that space for acceptance of these officers back into the fold, because the authority of the system, the authority of the system that they serve, that they're within, with this judgment card, is, at least in one way, even though they're feeling very frightened at the moment, stable. It's been something they've served a while, or they've watched their father serving it, or their mother, and they've followed suit. It's very difficult to make the decision, however broken it is, when you're institutionalized to that part of the system, to then be not welcomed to the very place that you go to with this Five of Swords. So any of these officers that you know, that you're connected with, that are making these decisions, you know, I would be asking to set ego aside completely. One, think strategically. Think more long term than reactionary. And two, not turn them away, but accept them. And for some it'll be hard, but not throw it in their face. Are we going to make that space for them? The only way, really, I see that they see in force, in numbers, that we have that space for them. In this instance, for this reading, it would be for hundreds of people to turn up around near the border. I don't know the layout, so I can't begin to say where. But that would open up the space, if not now, but when these officers see what's happening and take the jump, it would offer the space for them to jump into. And strategically, it would allow them to be doing far less if real-time pictures were going out, rather than their very carefully, very quick, very edited video. Nine of Wands, we need that discernment. Chairs creaking, sorry. We need that discernment. We need that foresight, forethought. And the wisdom to know when to act and when to not. So I hope that helps. Take of it what you will. Leave a message in the comment section regarding your take on it. And please, please, if you know anybody that's doing that, that's sharing live videos, that's a real person that you know, invite them to the channel. I'll speak to them gladly. And also, leave a comment about that, about is there any sort of, en masse real-time pictures of those tents in particular, but of the wall itself? Is there any show of force by the people near that wall? Even a small show of force? Is there anything bubbling up that way? So please, so we can all have this dialogue, so we can build the picture. That helps our intuition to know when to act also. It gives us more information to be able to have the confidence to intuitively act on something. And this is the key, in that we've been indoctrinated so much to believe in science. Science is fabulous. It is alchemy. It is an understanding and an overstanding of the chemical makeup of life. But those, again, who are in control of it and are in control of the results, intuition that is trained, that is used, is far more superior to any science that they're putting out now anyway, and for a long time, much that we can find. Politics, law, they've shown you so clearly that your intuition far outweighs the safety and trust that you can have in those that are leading us around the world. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you're seeing. Let me know what you know. I appreciate you all so much. I'm a bit tired because I was obviously up watching over Theodore for quite some time after his asthma settled down and his pulse was back to normal. But obviously, you know, you don't really go to sleep, do you? You watch them like a hawk when they're breathing like that. So I appreciate you bearing with me. She says that she yawns. So welcome, and I hope to get on live with you guys. I wanted to do this live, but obviously I didn't know how Theodore was going to be, so I didn't bother. But I'll try and do something later, hopefully. If not, I'm going on the awesome Wayne Steiger's YouTube channel, which if you're not already subscribed over there, go and subscribe. The man is a professor. He is a wisdom-full person. He is learned and always hunting to learn, which I love, because there's always an intrigue there into anything he delves into, and he always delves into them in the most passionate and easy to understand ways at the same time. So I love being on there with him, and I love the people that are over there too. So Wayne Steiger, go over and subscribe to him if you haven't already. The man is just a wealth of knowledge and has a purity that is immeasurable, and he's lived a life, so he's got that wisdom. So I appreciate him very, very much. Much love, stay balanced and stay whole. Mwah. Ay, Jenny.